you guys know that moving to Ireland is definitely a dream? Like it's something amazing, okay? You are in a new environment, an environment filled with opportunities and an environment filled with like promises. It's just something new, something refreshing, okay?
But it's not entirely all rosy, and that is why I decided to come here and let you guys know the biggest challenges Nigerians face in Ireland and how you can overcome them. Basically, how you can ensure you don't even face them at all.
So if you're a Nigerian or African who's planning to relocate to Ireland, or you are currently in the process of moving to Ireland, or you have moved already, this video is definitely for you. Housing is one of the major challenges that people face when they move to Ireland, okay? It's almost like looking for a needle in a huge grassland. That's how crazy it is, okay? People always complain about housing as being a major issue that they're facing the first time they move to Ireland. Now, especially in cities like Dublin and Cork, you find that it's pretty difficult due to how saturated the environment is to find housing. So the three major issues I know of around housing is the cost of renting, the availability of homes at all, and finally the fact that landlords always ask for references and like ridiculous paperwork. They ask you for references for your stay in Ireland, and when you've never even lived in Ireland, you just have to start putting in references from back home. And if you don't know this on time, you probably would come with no reference and you'll be struggling to reach out to your landlord back home and all of that stuff. So those are the major challenges that people face. So some of the solutions that are there for housing would be, first of all, ensuring that you use the reliable housing platforms. The two most reliable housing platforms I would say from my personal experience are daft.ie and rent.ie. And don't just stay on those platforms. Ensure that you explore platforms like Facebook. Number two solution would be leverage on the communities that we have in Ireland, okay? Nigerians in Ireland, Home for All, which is one very popular WhatsApp group. I don't even know if they let people into that WhatsApp group now, but leveraging on those communities, those mini community groups, can help you to sort of like know what's happening within the housing market and see if there are available slots for housing. Because I remember there was once somebody who was looking for housing and we were able to get them a place, and it was through someone else who actually just wanted to rent out their room. So definitely consider going through and trying to join communities that you can find on Facebook and possibly on WhatsApp if you can connect to that. Now, number three solution would be make sure you have all of your paperwork, all of your references before you start your search. I would actually personally advise that you search before you even come and ensure that you have your landlord's reference from back home, your a reference from where you used to work or where you're going to work, your bank statement, because you actually have to prove that you can fund and pay for your rent. And especially if it's a new build, there is a requirement that your rent every month cannot be more than, I believe, 30% of your household income. So ensure that you have all of that in place and is realistic enough for you to go for certain things. And finally, what I'm going to say is ensure that you also have um two times your first month's rent, because you're going to be paying a security deposit if you're to rent a house in this country. Yes, I know that's a culture shock, but I feel like this is something that I don't know if I missed out on saying on my channel. And I've had a couple of people who said, oh, I didn't know that this was the case. So please ensure that you have two times your first month or your monthly rental amount in your account, because that's what you're going to be paying for your first month. So if you have to save towards that, ensure that you save that, because that second amount is paid as a deposit while you pay the first amount. Okay, so Yeah, that's pretty much it about the housing crisis. Getting a job is like one major hurdle that most Nigerians get. If you're someone who schooled in Ireland and you're looking to transition into the workforce, you will realize that that might be a hurdle. And if you're also someone who just happens to want to move from Nigeria to Ireland, or you're already working here and you're looking to transition your job, you realize that that is in a way some hurdle in itself. So the thing is that a lot of companies here in Ireland prefer to employ locals. And I know everybody's trying to be inclusive at the time, but then to be honest, there's only a level to the inclusivity, and they're trying as much as possible to ensure that they have a diverse system here. But a large percentage of the employees at an organization definitely has to be locals. Some of the major issues around employment for Nigerians, moving to Ireland or just getting into Ireland is the fact that one, the companies want Irish experience. And obviously, if you're coming from outside Ireland, you probably do not have Irish experience unless you were working remotely for a company in Ireland, which is actually one side of it. But a lot of the organizations want you to have Irish experience. Another major issue that they have is the fact that some of our qualifications as Nigerians do not necessarily align with the qualifications that they would typically accept on this side of the world. So, this has kind of been like sort of a barrier because it just, I mean, the thing about qualifications, if it's not this qualifications, even if it's about the same thing you're learning, they just want to know that you have the qualifications that are required for where you are. And another major issue is the fact that a lot of people coming into Ireland might not be so familiar with the process of employment here in Ireland. So how it works, how it typically works. Because I know that in especially for back home in Nigeria, you find that the employment process is not as rigid for some organizations. For the major organizations, yes, it can be rigid. You go through one process, you take a dragnet test, you do this, you do that. um but for some organizations it's just like first interview and you're fine. Okay, you don't need to do a test, you don't need to do a psychometric whatever and anything like that. So there's a difference in process when it comes to that. What solutions can we possibly use to tackle some of these issues? One major solution would be that you should reach out to recruitment agencies, reach out to recruiters, and ensure that you work on your CV and just aligning your CV and qualifications to ensure they align to any role or possible role that you think you want to go for. And I know people say that, oh, reaching out to recruiters does not work, but I know a couple of people that this has worked for in Ireland. It might not work for you in Nigeria or in Africa because I don't even know how recruitment agencies work, but here it does work perfectly for a lot of people. So reaching out to them just helps you kind of like review your CV because most of them take time. They don't take pays, right? They just want to know that you're ready and you have the qualifications or the level of education to be able to take up a role. And they will gladly go through your CVs for you, help you edit it, and ensure that you align to what is required for a role. So yes, reach out to recruiters, recruiting agencies, and they will be very helpful in ensuring that you align your CV to whatever role that you're looking to go for. The second thing I would say is look out for qualifications within your field that align to this environment. Like I would say for procurement professionals, there's CIPS, which is accepted in the UK and Europe. If you're like an IT person, I think there's CompTIA, AWS certifications that you can take. All of that stuff, you can just look for certifications within your field that will bring you up to the qualification level that these people require on this side of the world. Other thing I would say is do not overlook part-time jobs or internships. I know that most of them don't pay as well as a full-time job will, but that is experience that you'll be putting in your bag. So ensure that you take up any opportunity of internship or part-time jobs that you see while you also actively search for something that works for you, because I believe for not settling for less, but I also believe that experience is also key to ensuring that you can grow into the role that you want. And also, you need to make money anyway. So, yeah. And pro tips, ensure you check out platforms like Indeed and jobs.ie because they're super helpful. Okay. Let's talk about the Irish weather. I mean, if you're coming from a warm and sunny Lagos or Abuja, you would know that the Irish weather is very, very interesting. Okay, you experience everything from rainy days to cold days to sunny days with no heat but wind. And I mean, it's just a mix of beauty all year round. Okay, so I mean, there's nothing much you can do about it. We can't even say what the reasons are, or what the major issues are. It's just an act of God, and it's always just going to be like that. Ireland is known for having such beautiful, interesting weathers. Okay, and some of the things that you can just do about this as a solution would be getting warm clothes. Okay, as a new person come to Ireland, do not focus on the fashion side of being out of your country. Okay, try as much as possible to be warm so you sort of figure out how to navigate the weather itself. So over time, you'll figure out, okay, I can put this together and still be warm. But for the first few months, for the first while that you're just getting into Ireland, I would say get the warmest jackets, gloves, scarves, what do they call those things? Head warmers, whatever that you need at that time, and focus on that in the moment, in just being warm. And the second one, definitely get yourself a very good umbrella. Because if that umbrella is not very good, it's going to destroy right before your eyes, okay? Anyway, on the brighter side, you will start to appreciate cozy indoor activities like snogging under your duvet, drinking a cup of tea, watching a nice Nollywood series or just any series that you might like, or Korean series like me, and just spending more time with family playing indoor games. That's a different side. Okay, I think it's fair. Cultural difference can be challenging. Okay, from the way people eat to the way they even speak. Okay, it can be a bit different from what you're sort of used to. Okay, you definitely notice that things are done differently. One, the lack of spicy food. See, you guys have to agree with me that for Africans, for Nigerians, spicy food is a culture. Okay, so if you can't find spicy food, it's definitely a cultural difference. The second thing is just like general social norms. Okay, the fact that, for instance, Irish people are very punctual. When they say 12 o'clock, best believe that that event is going to actually start at 12 o'clock, and it's going to end at 3 o'clock if that's what they said. Except it's like a crazy board meeting or something like that, and you guys have to brainstorm for hours. But trust me, punctuality is a big deal as opposed to our dear Nigeria, where if they say 1 o'clock, know that the party starts at five. I would say some of the solutions are, first off, be true to who you are, your culture, what you love, and be open minded. Try as much as possible to also learn a bit about the Irish culture. Open up yourself to learn about their food, their music, their dance, because that's why you made the move anyway, to experience the beauty of other cultures and other environments. Ensure that you celebrate St. Patrick's Day and try yourself a soda bread if you're in Ireland, okay? Trust me, absorbing the beauty of the environment and also staying true to yourself can be balanced out and you can enjoy your time, okay? Another thing is staying connected to your Nigerian side. Just connect with Nigerians in your environment, join a Nigerian community, join a church, because we have strong Nigerian churches. Winners is here. Hola, Redeem is here. We have CCI. We have so many church communities that you can join and meet other Nigerians and other Africans, and you can sort of spend time and mix in that Nigerian community and feel like you're also at home.
My family is like a painting. Dad is the pen, mom is the ink, drawing warmth and joy.
Homesickness. This is a major one for most people, and as simple and as tiny as it sounds, it's actually really tough leaving all that. Um, the culture and the social norms that you know, and shifting to a different environment entirely. So I would say some of the things that are helpful when it comes to homesickness is just staying connected to your family first of all. So I would say schedule calls if you have to. If you're someone who is really busy, take time out every other day to call your family, to call your friends back home and catch up with them. It goes a long way. Even if you have to schedule it on Zooms, on Teams, or just use WhatsApp, okay? Just make sure you're consciously trying to connect to your family back home. Another thing that also helps is going to Nigerian restaurants and going to the African shop or African store, or like more of the ones that we have here, Asian stores that just have African food. But just being connected to that African side and making sure that you make jollof every other week or egusi soup. I mean, there's nothing better than that to just make you feel like you're back at home. I would say the final one is ensure you make new friends and family. I know that, first of all, family cannot be determined by blood. It's not Family is not always determined by blood. They're determined by people that have just come into your life and made a huge difference for you. So open up your mind to meet new friends in church, in your environment, in your estate, wherever it is that you are. Just open up your mind to ensure that you are meeting new friends, and also being as valuable to them as they are to you, and ensuring that you create valuable relationships with them. And I'm sure that that would help you with homesickness, trust me. And finally, yes, moving to a new country, moving to Ireland comes with its own hurdles and challenges, but don't be discouraged, okay? Because it also comes with its own opportunities, and just hope for the future. Let me know in the comment section if you actually think that maybe on this channel we should create some kind of WhatsApp or Telegram community to help each other if you're just moving to Ireland, or if you've just moved to Ireland, just so that everybody can kind of share their experiences and you know rub minds with each other, and like just see how it goes. And if you're even someone who is anticipating coming, maybe that might be helpful to you. So just let me know in the comment section if that's something you think we should do on this channel. And if you found this video useful for you and your family, or if you find it that it's going to be useful for anybody, please do give it a thumbs up and ensure to share it with someone who is looking to move to Ireland or who has just moved to Ireland. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one.